Everything is on YouTube. Everything is on Facebook and Twitter. But the world of social media is a step removed from reality.
These are people who would not say these things to your face, but they will say them to you behind a computer screen.
If you disrespect somebody on Facebook, thousands of people see that post. Now this guy wants to get some revenge.
For young people, image is everything. I've seen people arrested, assaulted. I've seen people killed because of what they put up on the social media.
Whatever's on your mind, you can post it online. Your beliefs, your fears, your life, your style. But when you express yourself in here, you expose yourself out there to hate. Say your piece on social media, and you might incite a war. Make your mark online, and you might make yourself a target.
East New York is the only neighborhood that I know that it could be a shootout one day, and then by that next morning, just everybody be right back outside and just going like nothing ever happened.
This is where the crime is most highest. This is where the homicide rates, unfortunately, are still the most highest. One of the most dangerous places in New York City. My name is Andre T. Mitchell. I am the founder and executive director for Man Up Incorporated.
Man Up's goal is simple but elusive, to try and curb the bloodshed in their own backyard. And they're focusing on neighborhood teens like Khalil.
I wanted you to take a time out from your daily responsibilities to have a conversation around social media and the issue of violence. Your generation is so internet involved. Like, how many of you would honestly say that you live in the social media? The majority of you. So when there's this beef, like when somebody have issue, I got issue with that person. First place you identify or know about is where? Facebook. Do you see people beefing literally?
Yeah. Like they cursing each other out, meet me here, other friends jumping in, all that. It's all out war.
So we see it escalating. We see something materializing in front of your face.
So it's just like, all right, let me think about how many likes I'm gonna get if I record this fight.
Violence is the end thing. People feed off of violent situations, fights that they see, because if they get to post that fight, that it makes them a popular person.
On social media, it'll start off as like a pride thing. Like somebody try to diss you in front of somebody, and it's just like on Facebook, like, and then people comment, and it just stirs up the situation because like nobody want to seem like a punk. Everybody want to have that tough guy role.
Social media is a platform for self-representation, a place to pose as someone you're not, or to express who you really are, unfiltered.
Social media has allowed folks to find their voice, to have that freedom in that community and have that safe space where you can talk about things that matter to you. It's important and it makes a difference.
This is Jamie, a freelance journalist, wife, and mother.
You could drive that truck.
This one?
I had any interest in writing comics. I wrote this script in about 3 days, and they accepted it. And I'm like, I love this job.
And this is Mickey, who's also a writer and a longtime friend of Jamie, both online and off.
We are inveterate jokers with each other.
We have a very Laverne and Shirley sort of relationship. Partners in crime.
I'm gonna make key lime cupcakes with the raspberry swirl.
Am I getting any?
I don't know yet.
They publish their work online, so social media has been their key to success. One hashtag Mickey drafted, "Solidarity is for white women," became, for a time, the world's top trending hashtag on Twitter, Now combined, they have over 50,000 followers, with a reach of over 8 million people. A viewing audience triple the population of Chicago.
So I use Twitter to discuss social issues. I tend to talk a lot about police brutality, feminism, race, representation in media. People either love me or they hate me. I am visibly black and female on the internet. And there's a certain amount of racist how dare you that tends to come pouring out of people.
Women of color online are generally seen as a nuisance, I think.
I am, quote unquote, the angry black woman, even when I'm not angry.
Loud, obnoxious, overly concerned with race, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
you can't just be a person in the eyes of some people.
It's kind of borderline abusive, so, especially when you are vocal about things like race and gender. So I might be a nigger bitch, or a dumb nigger hoe, or like whore.
You know, I bet if you got some dick, you wouldn't act the way you do, or you wouldn't be such a mouthy bitch. I'll gut your kids in front of you before I kill you. Someone should rape you. Someone should take you out back and beat some sense into you. Things like that.
What they're talking about are trolls. People who go online to antagonize others. Their presence permeates every corner of the web. And these haters are more connected to each other than you may realize. On places like Reddit and other online bulletin boards, trolls post how-to guides. They praise each other's work and look to one another for inspiration.
I don't read the comment section on a lot of the stuff I write because I don't want to deal. It has changed how I use social media. I'm a lot more reluctant to broach certain subjects or talk about certain things because of the blowback.
No one wants to feel constrained when voicing their opinions on the web. So one day, Jamie got a little creative.
I was talking with a friend and they dared me to be white for a week. I was like, I could do that. I Googled like some random white dude. I put him in my Abby. In terms of conversation, say the same things I've been saying as a black woman. And the way that folks interacted with me was like night and day. I was much more reasonable and easy to talk to. What started out as a joke really became my way of protecting myself online. And, you know, it's become like a shield.
While some use social media to shield themselves from hate, for others, it's a weapon of provocation, persuasion, and war.
The minute you start to form relationships with computers and usernames, you start to lose your moral compass.
This man doesn't want you to know his name or see his face. It's too risky.
I've got a lived experience through my own understanding of what extremism did to me. An incredible journey in between isolation, anger, grievance, hate, and the support, potentially, for violence.
This former jihadi has found a new calling. Deploying inside knowledge of the recruitment and radicalization of Muslim youth, he is now working to combat extremism online through a character that conceals his identity while animating his message. Meet Abdullah X.
What I can't understand, though, is the pure hate and indiscriminate violence that somehow these people attempt to justify through my religion. The character was created to reach parts of the dark, deep online domain that strategic communications are never going to reach. There's no doubt that most of the recruitment and processes of radicalization that particularly young people are facing, it's happening in the online space through various kind of social media.
I was created to safeguard some young Muslims from falling into the trap of believing their own hype.
What gives you life is jihad.
The regime you're trying to topple actually helped create you.
For every attack, for every action, Abdullah X posts a reaction.
We're not irrational beings who have no agency. We do get to decide.
A call to conscience.
We don't just condemn it, we hold you responsible, the so-called Islamic State. Your deeds are your doing. We hold you to blame.
It is the first digital war. It's the first war waged online.
It's a war for hearts and minds and clicks. Around half of ISIS's social media is not violent at all. It's propaganda, much of it aimed at young Muslims adrift in the West.
This kind of jihadi narrative in the online space on social media. It appears like some kind of glorified kind of golden age. You've listened to a few online videos on YouTube and you think that there is something known as the Islamic State that you need to die for. There is a growing number of young Muslims who feel grievances around identity, around belonging, around loyalty, around duty. What is right? What is wrong? What is violence? What is extreme? What is acceptable? What are values?
To the lies and hate spewed out by extremists, we are not stupid, we are brave.
All we're trying to do is create that moment of doubt deep down in that young person's mind.
A moment of doubt. A moment of caution. An interruption. It's what Andre and his team at Man Up are trying to do in East New York. Interrupt the cycle of violence.
In this briefing, we just want to make sure that we have a better understanding of what's going on both sides.
Many of these men are reformed criminals themselves and well connected to the streets.
It's Friday, so we're going to try to hit most of our target hot zones, do some canvassing.
Let's just be really safe out there.
A role of a violence interrupter is to mediate beefs. They hear about a beef, they get right on it, and God forbid if somebody was to get shot, their job is to prevent retaliations.
Wait, Ta.
Our last incident was 17 days ago. Since then, it's been quiet. Allegedly, both parties have been on defense, so it hasn't been no retaliation. Social media has become a way to see certain things coming. And that if somebody that's close to me, if it's a friend, or they beefing with a friend, you know, if I feel like I could be, you know, a help to try to de-escalate it or resolve it, I will.
What's wrong with them?
Man, nah.
Niggas.
Everything good though, fellas?
Yeah, we cool.
It's good to see you though, man.
Yeah. And he finished school. Y'all know he finished school,
Well,
right?
I'm staying out of trouble. We need to get on board, you heard? All right.
Man Up uses Facebook and Twitter to check the pulse of the street. But they're not the only ones. 8 out of every 10 law enforcement professionals patrol social media, a new form of digital stop and frisk.
I've seen people arrested because of their affiliations in their social networks, because they may have been a person in the picture, part of an alleged group of sort. And it's incriminating. It's like you're burying yourself. You know, the prosecutor's office, the district attorney's offices are using this to help convict people.
There's even a law on the books in California, Penal Code Section 182.5, that a person who willfully promotes, furthers, assists, or benefits from a gang crime can be charged with conspiracy.
We're just not sharing information with the police. Our job is not to get nobody locked up. Our job is to keep our participants out on the streets and get them on the right path.
Different streets, same avenue. Here, on the south side of Chicago, what you post on social media can make you rich, and it can get you killed.
You take everyday life in the streets, weapons, the drugs. Basically, the streets inspire the music. And then you make it into a song and you take all your anger and you turn it into hyperactivity. My name is Eric White. I go by the name, my stage name is I Am GBF.
Check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Sounds like my mic's nice.
All right, let's go. Come on, we got to get rich, man. This is how we get rich.
Let's get it. If I throw a band, she gon' drop it low. When she do a dance, she take off her clothes. When she do a handstand, girl, get on the floor. Let me see you bend over, girl, touch your toes. Like, bust it open for a real nigga. Cuff a bad chick and show you how to deal with her. Hey.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's that $1 million thing, baby.
Well, a lot of young rappers feel if they get anywhere from 100,000 to 1 million views on their YouTube video, the record industry is going to take notice and they might strike a big deal. My name is T.O. Hardiman, president of Violence Interrupters Incorporated. Some of the guys are trying to put more violence in their videos than ever before because they want to be seen as the guy that's going to go over and beyond to make themselves look like they're tougher than most people.
Violence, drugs, and sex aren't anything new when it comes to music videos. But this is a new rap genre spread by social media called drill music.
Insane, you know what's cracking, homie. I heard niggas snitching, don't get tied up.
Here, the lyrics hold a hidden message. Drill means kill. Click is a gang. And Cobra is a revolver.
Social media has become the new Hollywood. A lot of young people, the mindset today is if I shoot somebody, I'm gonna be looked at like a hood superstar. And the music helps escalate some of the violence right now in Chicago.
People take it personal in their drill music. You know, when you start saying names and everybody else, then that's when it's taken too far.
The drill music artists, a lot of them think it's just, entertainment. But when you're out here rapping violent lyrics, out here to the public, guys are looking at them, and next thing you know, somebody loses their life. Facebook and Twitter gangbanging. That's what it is. It's cyber gangbanging. That's what it comes down to.
The tension between some cliques has recently escalated. Rumors are that a rapper named Capo, a member of the Glow Gang, was provoking a rival clique in his lyrics and tweets.
Capo was a former rap member. He was associated with Chief Keef.
He got signed to a record label.
I just saw the talent in them at a young age.
This that Chicago shit, you better keep a gun. And it can happen anytime, no matter what.
From what I'm hearing and talking to some people, that Capo was basically was trying to call some people out. I cannot confirm that.
He was coming down the street with his backpack on, with his dreads on, walking. I don't know if the car turned around the corner. I don't know if he came down the street, but I know he came up Kingston.
He was walking.
The car pulled up, and they started shooting at him, hit him, he fell. Boom, 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 boom.
I was bruising through my Facebook, and then I saw a video of him actually laying there, bleeding and everything.
She said we gotta keep him low. We gotta keep him low. Stay low. Stay low. Come on, please.
Yes, they did, man. I see that.
They hit him in his chest.
It was brutal. I mean, even though I'm out here, it was like I was actually right there.
I posted it. I said, R.I.P. Capo, bro will be missed.
Social media has become an electronic graffiti wall, a place to post messages and provoke a reaction. And after Capo's death, to pay respects. But it's also a forum for unspeakable expressions of disrespect, the cruel eulogies of heartless trolls.
They call it griefing, where they go after someone who's talking about a recent loss in the family, that kind of thing. And they one-up each other. It's a game to them, like they're getting off on knowing that they're freaking someone out. They're not thinking about the person on the other end and what impact they might be having. There are people savvy enough to make bots, so that even when they can't actually be trolling, they can still be theoretically harassing someone, upsetting someone.
Bots are software tools that run automated tasks on the internet. Some trolls are making their own bots, programming code into a weapon. If the bot detects certain terms or hashtags, like feminism, then it will post a hateful comment automatically. It allows trolls to scale up their hate, to keep the vitriol spewing 24/7. Well, two can play that game.
I'm about to activate my own account.
Jamie and Mickey are squaring off against the trolls with a bot of their own, nicknamed Portia. The hope is to wear the trolls down at their own game, an endless loop of, I know you are, but what am I?
Basically, I just want the bot to tie them up, to keep them busy so that they think they're getting their little buzz of bothering someone.
Here's how it works. If a troll posts a hateful message threatening to rape them, then their bot will respond with a rape statistic. For this test, they're using a dummy account and a more family-friendly term, tomato.
We're just test driving with the word tomato. We're not gonna do anything really offensive right now. Okay, so we're gonna test it on yours, and then we can start putting in terms on the spreadsheet that makes the bot go. We'll make sure the bot works, and then once we know that it responds and does the mute, then we'll update the spreadsheet the bot draws terms from, so that we'll put stuff like nigger, nigger bitch,
race baiter,
professional, nigger, libtard. What else am I called a lot? Whore and slut, because someone's gonna call me that.
All right, sending the tweet now.
All right, send your tweet.
Okay, I am not, you have to wait a minute, right? Because I still don't see anything.
It has to be a human amount of time.
All right.
I just got a response from Portia to White Box Heaven that says the tomato is a fruit. Here's the Wikipedia article for tomatoes, so it works. Yes!
Yes! So now we can update the spreadsheet with actual terms that we are likely to get and actual responses. They can talk to the bot for that 3 or 4 tweets. The bot doesn't care. The bot won't get mad. And then they're muted, and we never have to see them again.
For better and for worse, social media gives all of us a voice. Jamie and Mickey have found a way to at least mute some of the shrill and hateful voices. But humans aren't bots, and social media has become an essential tool of self-expression, self-promotion, self-obsession. We're digitizing identity itself into a curated impression of who we are, who we want to be.
Whatever you do when you're online, you write your history. You punch those buttons. So there are consequences to every action.
We keep pushing young people in between with us or against us or them. Which decision do we think they're going to make? In a world that is increasingly polarized.
Will they, will we, will you choose to start a fight or stop one?
Whoever you are drawing yourself out to become online, maybe your children one day in the future will hold this up to you and say, Mom or Dad, was this really you? And you're gonna have to answer to it.